Hey everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at etrailer. Today we are doing our full review of the Thule Reacha Sport trailer. This is a cart as well as a bike trailer, so you can haul this around or attach this to your bicycle and can carry all kinds of things ranging from kayaks, paddleboards, canoes, your cooler, your life jackets, everything that you might need for your adventure. So for our full review today, we're going to be going through the modular aspects of this system where you can mix and match different items to really make it the best fit for you, as well as tips and tricks for how to use this for your different types of configurations or situations, as well as I'll show you how to get this all folded up and compact to make it a lot easier for travel. So if you're interested in all those things, well, let's get to it. Now that we are back indoors, let's talk about what is this cart even capable of. So with this being the sport version, you have that longer nose that is designed for those longer kayaks and canoes. But you can also carry other things with this too. When you have this attached to a bike, you have a 77-pound weight capacity. And when you have this used as a cart, you have around 133 pounds of capacity. So significant increase when you want to use this for your own cooler and other things around the campsite where you are carrying this. And you might wonder, why the big difference? Well, when you have this attached to a bike, chances are you're going to be going faster and you're going to be relying on your bicycle's brakes to stop both your bike and the trailer, and that's why you probably shouldn't be carrying much more than 77 pounds. The specific one we have here today has the road tires similar to your regular bicycle. Thule does recommend not to go faster than 15 miles per hour with this whole setup, by the way. You also have these side bows for just extra organization or security on your cart. You also have this included strap to keep things tied down. And underneath the kayak, you can also see that this has a mat. So if you want to, you can load your cooler and other larger items onto this mat. This is what some people put their crates on, their other bags, things like that. So depending on what you need to use this for, you can make those adjustments. So we see this here with the kayak, very straightforward. Let's go take the kayak off and we'll talk about those other situations. For adjustability or modularity, it all starts with the base. So you have your aluminum frames all throughout your Reacha trailer. You have things like these bars and just the overall support. Your mat has a hard base that works as the support platform. But when you need to make adjustments, you have two main things to adjust. One's going to be your snap locks, which are very easy to use, or your really strong hook and loop straps. And in example here, if I wanted to move this from a flat platform to now more of a basket shape, it was just as simple as that. Looking further into the capabilities of that snap lock system. So we loosened our mat so that it has more of a basket shape, right? But we still need to push in the trailer to fully complete our move into a cargo trailer. So lift up on your snap locks, and then now you're able to adjust these bars along these holes to the width or length that matches you. So bringing this all in, let's say I want to go to 12, I just push in and it locks in place there. Since this is a full review, what I've noticed with that snap lock system is that while it is very helpful and you don't have to bring out any tools, some things like larger adjustments like this is easier with two people or with maneuvering the trailer around to just something that takes less weight. So that's just something that you may find yourself discovering as you use your Reacha trailer, just the best ways to make this work for you. The good news is that this is such a lightweight system that hauling it and tossing it around like this So easy. Tips and tricks for using your Reacha trailer. The first thing is always make sure that everything is strapped down. Since you have a strap included that has a bit of a bungee on the other side, you get a really good secure fit around your cargo. However, this is only one strap. So my tip for you is first, think wisely about where you attach the strap. I usually have it where the fabric is at the bottom, but if you have a larger item, you are allowed to use that strap where your side bows are. Second is always pull tight, and even more than you think you should, because there is that bungee that will get all that tension in there. And also, do bring a second strap. If you have, let's say, multiple cargo here, you want to make sure it's all strapped down. Even your larger cooler might need another strap. My next tip is just to have a habit of sort of a safety checklist before you drive off and away. So that includes checking that your straps are tight, checking that your snap lock snaps are actually secured and fully down, checking that your reflectors are secured and not up against your tires. And speaking of tires, check that your tires are inflated. These have some really nice valves to them, including a valve stem cover. So just making sure that is up to your pressure rating and is fully inflated before you go on your trip, along with checking everything else. It's just a good thing to do. The next tip is how to best secure your trailer to your bike. And I don't know if you noticed earlier in this video, but I have a small frame bike with 29-inch wheels, and that changed things a little bit with having to figure out how to secure the trailer. So before we get into the tip, let me run you through that trailer bike setup first. You'll have this attachment arm, and where you want to secure this on your bike is in a spot that will make sure that this is as level as possible. So for some people, they could secure it down here. This bike, that's not gonna work. We're gonna bring this up to the seat post. And we have 2 hook and loop straps. So there is rubber on the inside, which creates that good grip on the bike. As we go around the bike, we fit the strap into this loop here, and then we pull this tight, and then we bring the secondary strap around, and that creates our fit. Now I notice that over time, this might go down or this might go up, which is why this has another strap, which I personally put through the saddle, and then through here, and then up through the buckle. And then when you have that tightened down, this will prevent your mount from sliding down over time. If you have it secured down here, this will prevent your mount from going up over time. And then now you have this secured to your bike. So when you're ready to hook up to your trailer, you just bring the trailer on over to your bike mount and just fit this through. And remember all that we've talked about with the snap lock. Well, this has another one of those. So that just lines up to a spot on your bike. You're gonna then again check for distances. So for the best fit here, you're gonna want plenty of distance between the arm and your rear tire. You're also gonna want distance so that when you turn, this bike trailer does not make contact. So you'll want it high enough where you clear, but also low enough where you are still level. Plus, you have a safety strap included too. So the safety strap just goes around your bike with one side, and then there's another one that has the buckle on the trailer. So just like how when you tow a trailer, you have safety chains, well, when you tow a bike trailer, you have a safety strap. If you're like me and you have a mountain bike with a small frame and 29ers, you might not have the best fit with this trailer compared to what I have behind me, but you can make those adjustments to make sure it fits better, and hopefully this kind of explained how you might do that. But the best tip I have for you is that you can actually switch out different components of your trailer for wherever you are going. For example, we talked about those wheels. You can switch those out for beach wheels if you're going to have a lot of sand and a lot of soft dirt and you want something that has more evenly distributed weight. If you're going through a city and you realize that this large frame here just takes up too much space, well, you can switch out this frame with the urban, shorter, more compact bow. And that will be so helpful when you have cargo like your coolers and other large things like that, and not a kayak. So the basic understanding of this whole setup is important because from there you can mix and match between your different items to get the best fit for you. Your trailer actually packs up to look like this with the two wheels out. So to do that, what you first need to do is unhook the fabric along the inside, and then you start taking off all of the different snap lock secured parts of the frame. So whether that's the bow, or that's the arms, or just pretty much any part of the frame, that all comes apart. Once that is all apart, you then undo the fabric in the middle, and you just open it up and just start putting things on the inside. Once everything is secured, you then just bring the rest of the fabric over. There's hook and loop on the end that secures everything. And this is what that will look like. Now, it's not as pretty as it all packed up in a box, but it's definitely fast and quick to do. This holds everything together so that you can store this whole thing inside the basement of your RV, inside your vehicle. You could even put this in a roof box. This is a great way to transport your trailer so that instead of having to tow your trailer the whole time, you can pack it up and then set it up when you're ready for adventure. Throughout this video, you learned a lot of things, and all of that information is pretty transferable throughout the whole Reacha line. But if you have any questions at any point, or maybe you want to hear about what I think might be best per situation and you want advice on that, well, feel free to reach out to us here at eTrailer. We love helping people out on their journey, whether it's getting the right parts or just helping you feel a bit more comfortable that you have everything the first time. And feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Hopefully this video was helpful for you for just seeing how this whole thing works and if this is the right fit for you and your adventures. But today what we saw was a look at the Thule Reacha Sport cargo trailer at etrailer.com. My name is Evangeline. I hope you enjoyed this journey.